How's it going, Coach?
How's everybody doing?
Good, it's going. Why, from what you've seen on film, what do you think the struggles are the past 2 weeks in particular?
I think we've had a hard time with some of the past concepts we're seeing. And I think what happens is with some of the youth in the secondary and then having to move around with the linebackers a little bit, we just don't have a lot of banked reps when it comes to certain things. And I got to coach them better, and we've got to be able to translate, what exactly. It's hard to practice exactly what you get, right? The enemy gets a vote, right? So we've got to be able to handle some in-game adjustments a little better than we have. And I think that's the problem with youth, right? When you got immature kids, when you got kids that haven't played a lot, and then you try to get them to go do something that we haven't practiced, that's where some of our challenges have lied. And so I got to do a better job preparing them for some of that stuff. And then I think I felt like we were a step behind on all those throws against Pitt. And I got to find a way to get them a step ahead.
Not looking for excuses, but how hamstrung are you because of the cornerback situation?
It's more like how we prepare. We know we've got to protect them some, and I haven't done a good enough job of saying, you know what, we're going to live with some plays out there. I got to do a better job of that, and I think going forward that's going to be our mindset a little more.
What's the balance of keeping their confidence up, the younger guys, and living with those plays?
That's a factor in it too. I think with Storm Duck and Hollins now, those are two kids that we think are really good, going to be really good players. I've had it happen to me before where you put a young corner who's not quite ready, and it takes you another year to get him back. I think with Patrice Renee, I think when he was a freshman, from everybody I've talked to, he got thrown to the wolves a little bit and took him a year or two to get him back. I don't want that to happen, and so I'm trying to manage their reps. And also, I think they have improved. So I think as they get more practices with the ones, as they get more reps, as they get more game reps, they'll be better. And then I think we can allow them to go out there and be in one-on-one coverages on one.
Is there another position that's comparable to that in the sense of mentality and things? If you lose somebody, it takes a long time to get them back.
I think quarterback.
Quarterback. Is there anywhere else?
I think probably O-line, but I think the O-line doesn't the media and the fans don't see it as much probably as with an O-lineman, but we've had some D-linemen, some young D-linemen that have made mistakes, but when you make a mistake in the secondary, it's different, and they know that, so we've got to do a better job of what our job is and cover people when we have a chance to. And when we do that, we'll see success.
What have you seen out of Don Chapman that got him to get the start this weekend?
Started against Georgia Tech, and then we kind of had a bye week, and we kind of felt like we needed to get some older kids on the field. I thought against Georgia Tech he played well. He had an interception. I could just tell he wasn't quite ready. Kind of the same conversation we had. And I give Don a lot of credit. He's worked his tail off. We have felt very confident if he had to go in the game, he could. And then so against Pitt, we were having some struggles, and I felt like making the move, and I thought he came in and really played well. He is going to be a really, really good player here. We're very fortunate he's here.
Pickett
I
had
texted him after the game and I said, I cannot wait to coach you for, I hope, 3 more years.
So is he one that you're not really worried about?
No, Don Chapman is a tough dude. Comes from a tough place. He decided to come out here. He could have gone about anywhere in the country. I'm not worried about his confidence a whole lot. He's going to go compete.
Did you recruit him to the Army?
I did. I was his first offer.
Okay, that was the connection.
Yep. It's actually pretty crazy, because we offered him, and then he got offered by everybody, right? He committed, I think he initially committed to Colorado, and then they got fired. He committed, and then he was going to go to Washington State and decided to open it back up because he was getting, I think pretty much everybody on the West Coast recruited. And I got, Tim Brewster and I, after the first signing day, said, we got to try and find another DB. We need another DB for this class. And so we, John Mark Hamilton and the recruiting staff gave us a list of about, I think it was like 400 kids that had at one point had a BCS offer and weren't committed in the first signing day. So the first 200 came off because they weren't good enough. Then you start looking at grades and you start looking at, well, he really is committed. He's just going to wait. And all that stuff. It ended up being about 10 kids we liked. And I was like, Don Chapman, I know that name. And so I think when I messaged him, I think it was Christmas Eve, I got him on Twitter and said, hey, why don't you call me? And we talked, and it was kind of like, yeah, I got this going on, I got that going on, Coach. And I kind of talked to him to coming out here. And I think he came out here and really enjoyed our players, really enjoyed Coach Brown. And we're very fortunate he's here. He's going to be a really good player.
Pickett had some success scrambling and got several first downs. When something like that consistently goes wrong, what is the issue on defense for why that actually
Yeah,
happened?
I don't think, if there's one thing I would fix it. So part of it is the coverage we're playing, we're trying to protect people, and so we've got more people in coverage. And so when he does break the line of scrimmage, when the D-line does get, the escape hatch opens up, we're further away with the next defender to go tackle him. The second thing is, we're getting after those guys who rush the passer, and you can't handcuff them, you gotta let them rush. And so, we had a little bit different structure out there, and so sometimes we had some guys that probably made some decisions that I wish they hadn't as far as pass rush lanes go. So there's that piece of it, right? And then, we weren't able to pressure as much as we normally want to, a tribute to Pitt. And so I think we were a little bit of, they kind of knew where we were coming from a little bit. And so I think the protection became easy to create some of those escape hatches. But I think Pickett's a really good player. So I think all those things factor in to it, but certainly it's an issue that we've talked about.
In your levels of frustration, where does a scrambling quarterback pick up a first down in a case like that? Where does that rank us?
Yeah, that's up there, but it's not top 5. So, yeah.
Kind of
What are the
figured.
top?
Not closing the post in 3 deep for a 75-yard touchdown is
Yeah.
probably 1.
Yeah, I figured that.
So,
What's the rest of the top 5?
not talking to each other, then that's our biggest issue. I think right now is communication. I'd say that's pretty high. I think missed tackling is up there pretty high, especially when missing the wrong side. Like Chaz missed one on Saturday, on Thursday rather, that I thought if he misses on the right side, we were off the field. I would say those are probably the 3 that get me the most.
Well, in the name of being positive, what are the 3 things that make you the happiest?
Sacks, interceptions, fumbles.
Those are good things.
Yeah.
You spoke a little about Don Chapman and Coach Brown talked a little about the future of the defense, and you're losing a lot with
Yeah.
Crawford and Strobridge, but what do you see from this defense moving forward?
Yeah, I think we lose Miles Dorn, who's a really competitor, really smart. I think we lose the 2 inside kids that are really good players. I think the inside linebacker position is really healthy. I think Chaz and Jeremiah will be back, and they're really good players. And I think Kadri Jackson and Eugene Asante are going to be really, really good players. So I feel really good about that position. And then I think Tamon Fox is a really good player who hopefully comes back for a year. I think he's a really, really dynamic player. And then I think in the secondary, we're going to have a lot of kids that can go out there and cover and allow us to do some of the things that we want to do, coverage-wise, as far as being able to have 5 DBs on the field and some of that stuff, which right now we're struggling to do a little bit. So I'm excited about the corner position moving forward. I'm excited about safeties moving forward. I thought Cam Kelly, before he got hurt, was going to have a really good year for us, and then we get Wolf back. So I think the secondary is going to become, right now is, I don't say a liability, right now it's something we've got to handle a little bit differently than we want to. I think that's going to become a real positive moving forward. I mean, the key is going to be the inside kids on defense, the 2 D tackles. And I think, Ray's really coming along. I think Jalil's really coming along. We got some young kids we think are pretty good. Hopefully in December 20th, whatever, we're going to be better than 2.
What does senior day mean to you? You've only been around this group.
Yeah, so I would say the thing I've been most impressed with these seniors is that I think I'm their 3rd D coordinator. For most of them, we're at least 3rd or 4th position coach in some cases, and they have never blinked. It's never been one time, well, we did it, what about this way, or I like this way with better, or this call's too hard. I mean, they have really embraced what we're trying to ask them to do. I think they're really good leaders. I think they compete, and I think there's a bunch of them that have a future to continue to play. So Miles Dorn, obviously, Dominic Ross, they're the two D linemen, Jason and Aaron. There's Alan Cater. There's a lot of good players, so we're going to need to replace them.
Is there anyone out of that group of seniors that you have that we might not know as well that's kind of made an impact on you?
I think you kind of know all of them pretty good.
I guess there's not a whole lot to choose from.
Yeah. Obviously, I spend most of my time with Miles Dorn. So my relationship with him is one that I really value. I think he's a really cool kid. I think he's played all but 9 snaps this year. And when I try to take him out of practice, he gets mad at me. So for a kid who's got a future probably to continue playing, and I'm his 3rd or 4th position coach, 3rd or 4th D coordinator, and for him to have that kind of relationship with me, he's a pretty special kid.
described him as elite smart
Yeah.
before. How quickly did you recognize that, and what does that mean for you when you have a guy
So-
that you could speak at that level?
Yeah, so like when I first got here, he was injured. So he didn't, in the spring, he tried to go a couple days and couldn't really go. But he would write, like when we first saw the defense, he had these like 3x5 index cards. He's writing notes down. I'm like, this dude, man, like, how about a notebook, you know? And and then I realized like he's got like 50, like there's like a stack of these things, and he's going through them. He's like he would prepare for a class. You know, these are my flashcards I want to review when I'm in study hall or whatever. So pretty quickly I could tell that football made sense to him. His dad played in the NFL for 7 years. He's been a pretty good player for a while. So I tell all the NFL scouts, I've sat in enough of those secondary rooms, like Miles Dorn will make your team. Because he's going to be able to play both safeties, he's going to be able to know what to do at nickel, he's going to know what to do at speed linebacker, he's going to cover every kick, he's going to show up every day. And he's a pretty special kid. I wish he had another year. Anybody else?
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay.
Yes, sir.